What's up, guys? It's Kiana and welcome back to my corner. I decided to go with a bun for this video, and I don't normally do buns because I feel like when I'm looking in the camera it looks like there's nothing on top of my head, but when I go back and edit I can see it, so I just have to remember that it's actually there. You guys can see it, just me right now filming, it looks like I'm bald. Not to bring down the momentum of this video, but today's video is going to be a little bit different than my normal videos. I always try to do upbeat videos because who wants to watch a sad, depressing video? Nobody. But today, I think I'm going to be talking about something I haven't really spoke too much on since I made the video that I made about it, and I think I'm ready to talk about it, and I'm ready to share my experiences and things like that. So as you could probably already tell by the title, today I'm going to be sharing 10 things that losing my best friend taught me. I know I look greasy, I'm really not, it's just the lighting, because, you know, my lighting sucks. Before we get started, I just wanted to show something about my friend, my best friend who passed. If you want to see the video of me sharing the story about the whole situation, I'll link it below. But she passed away from cystic fibrosis. If you don't know what it is, I will link her channel below. She had a channel with her twin sister, Aaliyah. I'll leave it below. This was one, I call this like her spirit animal. It's a little raccoon that she had for like ever. She always had it with her. She always had it when they went into the hospital. And it was just her favorite little thing. And Aaliyah handed, the day that she passed, Aaliyah gave it to me, which was really weird. I wasn't expecting that, but she gave it to me, and I normally keep it up in my closet just away from my animals, but I decided to just show you guys this in this video. 10 things I learned when my friend passed away. I've had some time. It's only March. She passed in January, and I'm definitely going to learn other lessons and go through other things, but just some things that I've learned since her passing so far, or just things I've noticed. I shared in the other video that this is the first person I've ever really lost in my life that was like super close to me. When my grandfather died, I was 6, maybe even younger, and I didn't understand that. I didn't really get to feel that pain, which I hate but love at the same time because I didn't have to go through that pain. But at the same time, I regret not being able to actually grieve the right way over that. But anyway, the first thing I wrote is losing a young life is definitely different. Is a different type of pain. I feel like when you lose like a grandmother or something, it definitely hurts. Like, I'm not taking that away, but when you lose somebody who's young, who has never been married, never had kids, never got to do so many things in their life, who is still young and naive, it just hits differently because my friend died at only 19. There's so much more life that she had to live, so much more she had to give to the world. So I feel like something I learned with her passing is losing a young life is just, I don't even know how words for it. It's just a whole different type of pain, and I really wanted nothing to do with it, but I had to have something to do with it, and I just hope I never have to have something to do with it ever again. The second thing I learned is that it's okay to not be okay, like, all the time. Like, my thing about when I was grieving, or I'm still grieving, my thing about when I was first grieving is I need to stop being sad. It's time to get over it. But you're not going to get over it. Like, you don't just get over it. But I kept telling myself, get over it, because it's a situation that you never really understand, you never fully grasp. Because in life, you go through things, you get over it, you move on. But when you experience something like death, your initial thing with everything else is get over it, move on. But when death happens, you're like, I can't just get over it and move on. So it's okay to not be okay is what I learned. Because I was trying to all the time just be okay and not share my feelings, or not, like, reveal my feelings, if that makes sense. Like, I would hold back my tears, or hold back, like, how I felt towards people when they would ask me, just because I felt like if I spoke it out loud, I wasn't okay. But it's okay not to be okay for a while after somebody passes. It was hard to learn because, like I said, it always felt like I needed to be okay, mostly because I didn't want to be upset around her family, because I wanted to be strong, you know? I don't know, it's just something that you learn, is it's okay to not be okay. My bun is falling off my head. The third thing that losing my best friend taught me is to live life with no regrets. I never thought I would be the person to lose somebody and regret anything. Now, I don't regret anything about me and Alani's friendship. I loved every single part of it, even the hardships. It brought us closer. But when she was in the hospital in her last few days, which I hate saying that, I was not there enough. She even told me, one of her last words to me was, I know you support me even if you're not here physically, and I love you anyway. And I was like, I understand that you support, and you know that I support you, but for me, I still felt like a terrible friend that I wasn't able to be there all the time. I didn't clarify in my last video why I can always constantly be at the hospital is because I had to work. And as much as I really wanted to be there for her and for her family, I had to go to work. And I still have to live my life even though her life was, and I'm going to say it, even though hers was crumbling down, I still had to, my life isn't, or was, it did end up crumbling down, but it wasn't at the time, and I had to make sure I was still keeping up with my life, and it was hard. I always felt conflicted, like, should I go to work today or should I go to the hospital? And I was always chose work because I can't not be without a paycheck. And I regret that now. I wish I would have just went to the hospital because even though she was in a coma, I still could have talked to her. You don't know what she might have heard me. I could have been in there like, hey, Alani, I'm here. And I just lived with the regret that I didn't visit her enough, even though she told me that she knew I supported her. For me, I just felt personally like I should have been there more. And I beat myself up about it all the time. I'm starting to kind of get over it and realize living with a regret is not going to bring anybody back. It's not going to fix any situation, so I just have to move on from that feeling and just try to find peace. The fourth thing I learned is that confiding in other people that may be able to relate to you or something like that is okay. I was afraid to tell people who have lost people in their lives too. Like, I would go to work and I wouldn't want to talk about it because I didn't want to seem like I want a pity party for myself. But it's okay to confide in people because when somebody dies that you're close to, people don't expect you to just be okay. Some people do, but so it's okay to confide in people who might be able to relate to you, or people of that person's family who died. Confide in them because they know exactly what you're going through, and it's okay to confide in them. I feel like something that I learned is that it's okay to confide in them. I was always afraid to tell them how I felt because they're like, oh, how do you think I feel? I'm their family member. I was just afraid to sound like I'm more sad than them, which I never felt that way, but that's how I seem. But it's okay to confide in other people because they can relate to you. It's okay to have a moment of clarity if you need to just have somebody relate to you in that situation. So, I confided in my cousin because she lost her best friend at 14, I think, to CF, to the same disease. So I confided in her when this happened because she could relate to me more than really anybody. The fifth thing I learned after losing my best friend is that life is unfair. Now, I always knew this, but after my friend died, I questioned my faith, and I was mad at God. And yes, I do believe in God, so if you don't and you're watching this, I'm not trying to offend you. That's just my belief. And that was definitely her belief. She was a strong religion, strong Christian, and I think that was her religion. I don't really know. I just was always saying how life is unfair, and for her family, I swear somebody put a curse on their family. Not just a few months ago, their mom was burying her mom, then she lost her daughter, and not just any daughter, a 19-year-old daughter, and I just think that is just so unfair, and it makes you mad at God, why would you do something like that? But it's just such an unfair situation that I will never understand. But life is just so unfair to the people who deserve everything, and people who don't deserve anything get everything. The sixth thing that I learned is make more time for the people you love. Now, I always made time for her and her sister, who are my two best friends, but sometimes I feel like I literally worked so much and they were in school a lot, so our schedules were grueling, and plus they went to school almost an hour away from where our hometown is, so it was hard to visit them, and they didn't like coming home, and I'm not blaming it on them, I'm just saying that's how the situation was. So it was hard for us to see each other because it's a long drive, it's a lot of gas money, plus I gotta get to work the next day like early, or I didn't get off till late that night, so it wasn't worth to drive. And we always made time for each other, but I just like sometimes there were just moments where I feel like I could have made more of an effort. And this also goes back to trying not to live with regrets. Just make more time for the people you love. If there's something you really want to do with your loved ones and you have to work, then I would say do the thing with your loved ones. Call off. It's okay. I mean, you might miss a day for a paycheck, but you're going to make a memory and you're going to have that time spent with your loved one. The seventh thing I learned is that people who don't get what you're going through expect you to be over it right away. I definitely noticed that after my friend passed, I went back to work and everybody just expected me to be okay. Like, I was crying one day at work and everybody's like, what's your problem? Like, they were mad at me for crying. I'm like, it's literally only the 6th day after she passed and everybody's expecting me to go back to my normal life. Like, I'm not going to be happy. It's been almost 2 months since this has happened and I still have moments where I'm crying at work and people just expect me to be okay. Like, no, I'm not going to be okay. Like, some people who have never experienced it or who just don't understand the pain that you're going through, they just expect you to get over the situation right away. Like, I'm not going to say anybody specific at my job, but I'm not talking bad about my job. I'm just saying that there's just people out there, not even just at my job, who expected me to totally be over it right away. And I'm just like, no, like, you had to experience something like this to realize you're never going to be over it. And it never gets easier. You get a little bit stronger, and you start to be a little bit more okay each day, but it does not get easier. If anything, it gets harder because each and every day reality sets in even more, you know? So there's just people out there who don't expect you. There's people out there who expect you to be over it right away, and I don't understand how you could watch somebody lose a loved one and expect them to totally just be over it. Like, you're never going to be over that, especially not in 6 days. The 8th thing I learned is that grief is different for everyone. I noticed that there's people out there who have lost a lot of people in their life, so their grief patterns are different. But for me, I never really lost anyone close to me. This is the first time, so when I was grieving, I grieved so many weird ways. It was weird. That's why they were weird ways. But when I grieved, I don't even know how to, and I'm still grieving, obviously, but when it first happened, my grieving, I don't really know how to describe it because I went through major denial. And I always tell myself, like, this is probably like karma, because when people would lose loved ones and, like, have denial, I'm like, how could you just deny that? Like, I didn't think they were stupid or weird for it, I just didn't understand it. But I went through major denial, and it kicked me in the face once I got over it. So I just learned that grief is totally different for everybody, and I think everybody should know that, because just because you don't wear your heart on your sleeve every day about the situation doesn't mean so-and-so is not going to cry every 5 seconds. And it's okay for them to do that, and it's okay for you not to. That people grieve in different ways. I think the 9th thing I've learned is that life has more meaning, because I used to just live my life and go through the motions, and now I realize since my friend passed that life has so much more meaning, and you should always be living your life to the fullest. And I don't really know how to describe that one because I understand it personally, but I don't know how to describe it. It's just, life has more meaning there. Take that trip, you know, buy that t-shirt, you know, just do things and stop, like, worrying. And then the 10th thing that I learned is to try and think more about the person's life instead of their death, because it definitely helps. If you think of how amazing the person was, if they were amazing, because Alani definitely was, you know, think about their wonderful personalities, how amazing they were, what a great life they lived while they were here, instead of talking about all the details of their death and how you're sad about their death. Talking about how they lived can maybe bring a smile to your face, because I know what that did for me, but like I said, people grieve in different ways. But those are 10 things I learned after losing my best friend, and there's so many other things I've learned, but these are just the 10 I decided to share with you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I know it's not like a super upbeat video, but I feel like it might be a relatable video that some of you guys might be able to watch and maybe relate to or understand a little bit. If any of these 10 things are things that you guys learned too in an experience like this, then let me know in the comments or give this video a big thumbs up. And let me know what you guys want to see me do next on my corner. I need some video ideas. Like, I really need ideas. And I promise next time I won't wear a bun that's falling off my head. I learned something today. Don't wear a bun in a video because it's going to fall off your head. But I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to check out my vlog channel, I'll link it below. To check out Alani's channel with her sister, Salt Sisters, I'll link that below. And I'll see you guys next time.